After you've taken a demo flight and presumably decided you want to start flying ultralights, you need to get some training. The FAA has made allowance for dual-seat training in ultralights under the direction of USUA or EAA instructors. If you contact them, either group will give you a list of instructors in your area. Although FAR 103 does not require any training or license for you to fly an ultralight, I think you'd be foolish to learn to fly on your own. Even if you have light plane experience or pilot certification, you should seek out a qualified ultralight instructor and get some dual seat time. After all, the top speed of an ultralight isn't too much faster than the stall speed of many light planes. Ultralights fly differently than Cessnas and Pipers. There's no slighting your previous flying accomplishments for you to have taken some training. Even Chuck Yeager got properly checked out before flying ultralights. It's money well spent. Tim Schwartz is a BFI, which is the USUA's Basic Flight Instructor Rating.
Hi, my name is Tim Schwartz, and I'm a USUA certified basic flight instructor now working with Higher Planes Incorporated, builder of the Mitchell Wing, and I'm leaning against a Mitchell Wing T10 right now. To be a BFI, you're required to take 15 hours of dual instruction with another USUA certified instructor, no more than 5 of which with the advanced flight instructor with which you will be taking your test. So I ended up taking 12 hours with Bill Barden of Lodi, California, and then went to Turlock, California, where I flew with John Fletcher, who is an AFI, and took the written and flight test for the AFI there. I also had to take the Fundamentals of Instruction test from the FAA. One of the important points that I try to bring home to my students is the fact that you should always have at least one emergency landing site available at all times due to the notoriously unreliable nature of ultralight engines. Also, the point that education is half of the entire thing, and that if you have an airplane, that's only half the story, and just because you don't need a license to fly a single-seater does not mean that it will be safe for you to just hop in it and go. I know a lot of ultralight pilots that got into it in the early days, and the hit and miss flying teach yourself to fly technique, and I've heard a lot of stories about people who didn't make it that far, and in fact know some people who through not wanting to pay the money or not wanting to swallow their pride enough to learn how to fly have crashed ultralights. None of them that I know personally have been seriously hurt, but I think it's a definite possibility in the future. The USUA also has a set of written tests that are administered at various levels in the airman's program. And the first of which is the pre-solo written test, which covers questions such as fuel-oil mixture on an ultralight, a couple of questions about judgment, judgment calls, what would you do if your engine quit, etc. Very broad. And then for the pilot's test, it gets a little bit more involved and starts talking about airspace and 103 legalities. And for the BFI, it gets even more involved and gets very specific on airspace and how to actually administer the paperwork and whatnot of being a BFI. I think a very important hallmark of the USUA program for instruction is the fact that it's ultralight instructors teaching ultralight pilots, and instead of just going out and someone buying an ultralight and learning to fly in a Cessna, they're getting all the special considerations of slow flight and somewhat unreliable engines and a lot of background that they wouldn't be getting if they just went and did the general aviation thing and then hopped in and hoped for the best in an ultralight.